Alabama fans are hopeful after a week 2 beatdown of Louisiana Monroe that the tide is back. But how real is the Alabama Crimson Tide? Stick around. Let's talk about it. This is Way Offsides. 3, 2, let's go. Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Way Offsides. Hope that your week is going fantastic. Mine's going pretty good, I think. Let me get a big roll tide down in the comment section below. Let me know where you're watching from, please. There's nothing more glorious than a pissed off elephant, right? For those of you who watched the Louisiana Monroe game last week, you understand why I'm saying that. Alabama, coming off a week 1 loss to Florida State, absolutely obliterated the Warhawks of Louisiana Monroe with extreme prejudice, as was expected. The line was about 36 points. Bama completely crushed that and beat them by a whopping 72 points. Insane effort from the Alabama Crimson Tide, especially the quarterbacks. But although there are some things we could take away from this game, there's some things we just simply cannot. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Had a phone call with a really good buddy earlier, and he was like, look, man, he's like, how convinced are you that Alabama is the team that everybody thinks they are coming off of a win over Louisiana Monroe? I said, man, that's a good question. That is a really, really good question. That I don't think I can answer with 100% faith, just in the sense that I don't know. I don't know. I've seen night and day from the Alabama Crimson Tide so far in 2025. We saw the same thing last year. I know how good they can be. I also know how bad they can be. I know that if they play as good as they can beat anybody in the country. I know that if they play as bad as they can, they may be lucky to win 4 games. I don't know what to make of them. So I'm turning to you, the fans. I figured you can help me. You can put me at ease. So leave a comment below and tell me how to make sense of this. Because I'm going to do my best here today. So stick around, stick with me, and we're going to get through this together. While you're down there leaving that comment, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. All of those things help out this channel. Leave a big thumbs up on this video as well, if you will. Helps keep the traffic going, helps keep the lights on. And we depend on you guys to do that. All right. So first things first, obviously week 1 to week 2 was completely night and day for Alabama football, as expected. And I think that there were some things that have said this in other videos that had little to do with the quality of opponent. I'm going to play this video here from Chris Chat Sports. This is what showed on the game. Obviously, there's no volume here because we don't want to get copyrighted. But watching the video, you see Tim Keenan there on the sideline, absolutely hyping up head coach Kalen DeBoer. That intensity, that fire, kind of fed into the entire program throughout 4 quarters. It did not matter if you were a starter, if you were coming in mop-up duty. Everybody seemed to have played that entire game like the scoreboard was 0-0. Everybody was playing for their lives. It is obvious that they heard all the talk, right? Which is ironic a little ways because we've heard a lot of talk from Alabama fans or from Alabama football over the last 14 months, and some of it hasn't been backed up. And fans are getting kind of frustrated and fed up with that. Understandable. It is understandable. You got folks coming out saying things like all disrespect will be handled accordingly or addressed accordingly. And then, you look about as bad as you can look on the road in your season opener. Now, I think this Alabama team at home is a completely different monster. I think with the crowd behind them, the comfortability, not having to worry about the logistics of traveling, this Alabama team is legit at home. I don't have an answer for on the road. Kalen DeBoer is now 5-5 at Alabama, I think, on the road, something like that. I don't know. It doesn't sound right, but he doesn't have a good record. No, he's 5-5 in his last, whatever. I don't know. I'm not doing the math. He's not good on the road. Okay. Kalen DeBoer has not been good on the road at all, to be honest. He went up to Wisconsin last year, got a win. Goes to LSU, get a win, but you can kind of throw that one out because all they did was run the football. And so you lose to Vanderbilt, Oklahoma on the road last year, and Tennessee. Luckily, you got them coming to Tuscaloosa, but you go to Athens, right? You go to Columbia, South Carolina. You go to Columbus, Missouri. Last but not least, you go face Auburn, your rival, your bitter rival in the Iron Bowl in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Those are some tough road environments, man, especially Columbia and Auburn. Those are extremely tough road environments. Kalen DeBoer will face something he's never seen before in the Iron Bowl this year. And it's going to be a tough ask. If you were to ask me today, who's going to win the Iron Bowl, I might lean Auburn. I know that's not what folks want to hear, but because of Jackson Arnold's history against Alabama, because I haven't seen the Alabama defense be able to shut down a quarterback that runs that kind of system, and just because it's on the road at Auburn, I'm concerned about that one. I am, because there's not a lot of room for error for Alabama football. But I don't know what to make of what I saw. You come out and absolutely destroy ULM, but you're supposed to do that. Now, you do it historically. Your quarterback looks mad efficient, like insanely efficient. All of them look very efficient. But you still are struggling to get those explosive run plays if it's not towards the end of the game. You're still not getting to the quarterback and getting him on the ground, which is a huge area of concern. That is probably the biggest problem with this team right now, is not being able to get to the quarterback and provide enough pressure to get them off their spot and make them run for their lives without keeping their eyes downfield. I mean, ULM got really close to landing a big one once quarterback got flushed out of the pocket on Saturday. They're going to play a better quarterback, a better team this weekend. I would imagine, and I've seen the practice footage from today, from the media viewing period. Yes, that is absolutely something that they're working on. But I question that does Alabama have the guys? We're used to Alabama having that guy that you can put in there on third down, that money down, and he comes in and just makes an absolute difference. The Alabama's had tons of them: Tim Williams, Dallas Turner, Will Anderson, that they could just shove in there on fourth down, and the guy was going to make a play, or at least wreak enough havoc to where the quarterback could not make a play. I haven't seen that from Alabama in over a year, honestly, since Dallas Turner. And I don't know that they have a guy that can do that. I have some thoughts on some people. I would imagine that your thoughts are probably the same as mine, so please leave them in the comment section. But again, that pass rush, man, that is the one area that I'm most concerned with moving forward. I think Tim Keenan, when he comes back, will help with the run stop, which is another problematic area for Alabama football. And then as the line settles in, I think they're going to be okay. But the question I guess I'm trying to answer is this a national championship caliber team? I don't know. I think if they play to the level of talent that's on their roster, yes, absolutely. I think there is nobody in the country that could beat them, if you want me to be honest. Are they going to be able to do that? I don't know. I don't know the answer. I sure as hell hope so. I really do hope so. But I just struggle with the inconsistencies. That's kind of seems to be the brand the past few seasons, has been inconsistent play. It was easy to pawn it off on Jalen Milroe for a while, but I said in that it's on both sides of the ball now, and in the line of scrimmage. And this is the SEC is a line of scrimmage league. You have to be good on both lines. I don't know if Bama's got it on the defensive line. I don't know. I got to see it, man. Now, if they go into Athens and absolutely destroy Georgia, and manhandle them, their offensive line, and stuff the run, and force Gunnar Stockton to beat them over the top, I think Alabama will walk out of Athens with a big, big W. However, I just don't know that they can do that. I haven't seen it yet, right? And this is why everybody's so frustrated with Kane Womack and the 4.25. It's already kind of susceptible to the run. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? I'm not being negative. I'm just, the more I think about it, the more I'm uncomfortable with the defensive line position at Alabama. And it's interesting because this is something when we talk about recruiting, especially in the spring, it's an area of interest for fans and us alike. Everybody's kind of talking about, well, what are we going to do on this defensive line? Are we going to go get folks out of the portal? It just really never happened. And so I don't know. Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer probably used to being able to score enough to outscore people. But I mean, you're in a conference with a lot of very talented quarterbacks who are going to be able to put up some points no matter how good your defense is. So, you got to start that foundational group, and that's the defensive line. So, do I think Alabama is for real? Yes, if they want to be. If they are willing to do what it takes to week in, week out, grind this thing out, have that same mentality they had on Saturday against ULM. And the other question is, what happens when things don't go their way? All right. Wisconsin comes to town this week and drive right down the field and score. And then Alabama goes 3-0. What happens in that game? How do they respond? Do they claw their way back into it? Do they just lay down? Because they laid down in Tallahassee. You can't convince me otherwise. Once I see that, I'll be a little bit more comfortable. But again, this team has the roster talent to beat anybody in the country. They have the staff to beat anybody in the country. I just got to see it, man. Just got to see it. So thanks for sticking around with me. I hope you all are having, again, a fantastic week. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about this team, what your expectation is going into Wisconsin. We got a live show tomorrow night. Emily Grace McWhorter will be on with us to talk about her experience inside Alabama's practices this week as they prepare for Wisconsin to come to town. Should be a pretty interesting show. That'll be live on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central Time. We tried to move it to Friday, but you knuckleheads wanted to watch high school football. So understand. I mean, I get it, right? As always, say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down, subscribe, beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee to Roll Tide.